So I'll call this village board meeting to order for December 5th. We'll do a roll call. Nyla Fry? Here. Gary Hersberg?
Here.
Phil Willems?
Here.
Chris Zellner? Aaron Moran?
Here.
Joe Zitzelsberger?
Here.
Sam Kaufman?
Here.
I'll move to appoint Phil as the chair.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, confirmation of open meeting compliance, please.
I confirm that the draft agenda was published in the Waunakee Tribune on 12/2. The final agenda was posted in all 3 official posting locations on 12/2. And the final agenda and packet were made available online on 12/2. Also, for those in the audience, if you could make sure you sign in and state your name, address, and municipality for accurate record keeping, as well as if those interested in public comment, please fill out the form and give it to me prior to the agenda item.
And if I can fill one other point of order, as you see, we're in the process of getting the room set up. We've got the furniture. The technology, though, is in process right now for the next couple of weeks. We are recording the meeting, but that is our sole video camera. That is the sole audio source as well. So be very clear with your comments today. That'll help with audio on our recording.
Do we need to take an actual vote on the chair?
You should, please.
And I shall call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thanks,
You have a chair.
Okay, so you accomplished the confirmation of open meeting compliance. Public comment by anyone on any item on or off the agenda, please, if any.
I have no public comment cards.
Okay, well, I have one public comment. I won't be standing for re-election this spring. Okay,
Just like that.
just like that.
One sentence.
You don't have to vote on it. I figured by that time I'll be 84, and I think that's clearly kind of over the limit. So, thank you for your time and putting up with me. Consent agenda, do anyone like anything pulled or?
Number 3, please.
Pull number 3, which would be the approve the extraterritorial jurisdiction. Okay, motion on 1 and 2.
I would make a motion to approve items 1 and 2 on the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, go back to item 3, approve extraterritorial jurisdiction certified survey map for Meyer, 5590 Easy Street, Town of Vienna.
Okay, I just want to, the motion is okay, but what I want to bring up is the staff recommendation to make sure that we look into that. And the staff recommendation is staff recommends not objecting to the CSM, however, encourages the dedication of the northerly 33 feet of Easy Street to the public for right-of-way purposes. So I'll make the recommended motion to not object to the proposed CSM at 5590 Easy Street, Town of Vienna. However, encourage the town to acquire the northerly 33 feet of Easy Street through dedication for future public road right-of-way purpose.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? No. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Presentations. Resolution honoring World Migratory Bird Day. Yeah, I get to read something. See how this goes. Resolution number 22, resolution honoring World Migratory Bird Day. Whereas migratory birds are some of the most beautiful and easily observed wildlife that share our communities, and whereas many citizens recognize and welcome migratory songbirds as symbolic harbingers of spring, and whereas these migrant species also play an important economic role in our community, controlling insect pests and generating millions in recreational dollars statewide. And whereas migratory birds and their habitats are declining throughout the Americas, facing a growing number of threats on their migration routes and in both their summer and winter homes, and whereas public awareness and concern are crucial components of migratory bird conservation, and whereas citizens enthusiastic about birds, informed about the threats they face, and empowered to help address those threats that can directly contribute to maintaining healthy bird populations. And whereas since 1993, World Migratory Bird Day, formerly International Migratory Bird Day, has become a primary vehicle for focusing public attention on nearly 350 species that travel between nesting habitats in our communities and throughout North America and their wintering grounds in South and Central America, Mexico, the Caribbean, and the southern U.S. And whereas hundreds of thousands of people will observe WMBD gathering in town squares, community centers, schools, parks, nature centers, and wildlife refuges to learn about birds, take action, and to conserve them, and simply to have fun. And whereas while WMBD officially is held each year on the second Saturday of May, its observance is not limited to a single day, and planners are encouraged to schedule activities on days best suited to the presence of both migrants and celebrants. And whereas WMBD is not only a day to foster appreciation for wild birds and to celebrate and support migratory bird conservation, but also calls to action. Now therefore let it be resolved that the village board to the Village of Waunakee do hereby proclaim Saturday, May 13, 2023 as World Migratory Bird Day in the Village of Waunakee, and encourages all citizens to celebrate this observance and to support the efforts to protect and conserve migratory birds and their habitats in our community and the world at large. Passed and adopted this 5th day of December 2022, Chris Zelder, Village President, Carla Andrus, Village Clerk. That's a lot. Okay. Presentation by
Phil, you want to take a motion on that resolution?
oh, wait a
I'll make
second.
a move to approve the resolution.
Rookie, you don't do job.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, resolution voted on and passed. Now a presentation by Waunakee artists John and Tracy Grady, Village Commission gift to Ho-Chunk Nation.
And I'll just offer...
You'll solve that.
What's that?
You'll handle that.
I'll offer a quick introduction, Phil, but most of the presentation is going to be for John and Tracy here, who own Glass Catfish Studios in Waunakee. Some of their work hangs in our library now. And when the Ho-Chunk celebrated the launch of their dugout canoe earlier this spring, we celebrated that event right here in Village Park. And we also celebrate our partnership that we built with the Ho-Chunk Nation. Gift giving is a very significant symbolic gesture for the Ho-Chunk Nation. And what the Village Board commissioned is our effort to present the Ho-Chunk with a gift honoring that tradition. So I'll let the Grady's present their piece and talk about the inspiration, but the plan will then be to ask the Ho-Chunk where and when we can present this to them. I anticipate that a group of us will travel to Black River Falls. I would certainly hope the Grady's would join us and present it officially to the leadership at the Ho-Chunk Nation. So anyway, with that, turn it over to John and Tracy.
Great. Maybe we'll go over by the piece itself.
Sure, yeah.
I'm John, this is Tracy. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. It's been a pleasure working together on this project. It's an honor to be a part of it. So we partnered with Todd, and Tracy and I went to the opening ceremony, the sort of the kickoff for this Ho-Chunk project, where they were having a recreated dugout canoe that was going to be paddled all the way down the Yahara River watershed, basically all the way to the border of Illinois. So a really big event for them, and we managed to actually have it start up here at the headwaters of the Yahara at 6 Mile Creek. So Tracy and I paddled along the route with the Ho-Chunk people for some of the time, collected media from them to help inspire the piece so that it would be meaningful both to the village and to the Ho-Chunk people. So what we have under wraps is a light box. Since Tracy is a stained glass artist, there's really two options. One is a great big window pane, and the other is a smaller item that is self-lit. And we decided that a window pane, while beautiful, is pretty limited in where you can actually display it. And so we opted for something that was miniaturized and more widely useful for them. That also meant that we have a box, and so on the sides of the box is wood inlay, which allowed us to do some more imagery than we would have with just a single. Right? So I'll describe what the images are. Perhaps turn it on first. It's got a demo in the back. Starting at the front, everyone will recognize the iconic view of what we call the Old Park, Village Park, Murphy Park. We felt that had to be there. First of all, that's where the launching ceremony took place. Also, when people think of Waunakee, if you've had your senior picture taken or your wedding photos taken, this is what we think of. Also, there's a lot of nice symbolism in terms of the water being there, a resource that both the Ho-Chunk people and our people share in common, and a bridge, of course, bridging the cultures. So that's the stained glass piece. The three pieces on the top right and left, the top, if I can carefully tip this over without breaking the piece, that would be the 4 lakes in the Yahara water chain, which I'm not going to try to repeat from memory. So that symbolizes the journey that the dugout canoe took with the Ho-Chunk youth. Starting up here on my right would be at the Yahara River and 6 Mill Creek, and so on this side is imagery that represents Waunakee, which you will recognize. It also represents many of the images that Tracy and I saw when we were along the route of the flora and fauna along the journey that the dugout took. On the left-hand side, we get to the image that represents more of the Ho-Chunk journey. That is a compilation of images that were published by the Ho-Chunk youth themselves. It shows the skyline of the Capitol, the dugout with the flag. The last sort of piece to note is that this dugout is actually constructed from wood that was used in the construction of the dugout itself.
The same tree.
Yeah, exactly. So that was sort of a triumph of engineering to be able to incorporate the actual source material into the image of the journey. There's other symbolism that I can pass along in written form for when we actually deliver it up to them, and we can make sure that everything is appropriate and you all have signed off on that. But I think that hits the high points. Our hope is that it's something that can be displayed somewhere in their offices, and it's flexible enough that they can put it anywhere that they need to. Anything else? Anything that I left off?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Our parks never look better. Okay, next we're going to discuss take action on an original alcohol beverage license application for Par Bar Early Birdie LLC, doing business as Par Bar Early Birdie LLC, and Carla will present that.
So we have a new owner for the Par Bar Early Birdie, and they are applying for their reserve license. And if that gets granted tonight, there's a few conditions that Brian had come up with for the motion that we'll add into it, just like we did with recent for the tasting room. But It's identical to doing a original liquor license and in June when we do those as well, kind of like we did for Inovino, so. Does anybody have any questions regarding it?
Questions? Motion, Peggy?
So the motion that we have, it's a little different than what was in your packet, not by much, it just adds in conditions like we had for other liquor license. If you'd like, I can read it.
Please.
So a motion to grant an original alcohol beverage license to the applicant Par Bar Early Birdie LLC, doing business as Par Bar Early Birdie LLC, located at 350 North Century Avenue, subject to the following conditions being satisfied prior to issuance of the license. 1, possession of a current seller's permit. 2, payment of outstanding liquor bills. 3, payment of all outstanding bills or monies owed to the village. And 4, existing alcohol license on the premise is relinquished by the current licensee on or before June 30th, 2023. So there's currently a license owned by the previous owner, Garrett, and that one would need to be relinquished prior to us issuing a new license. You can't have 2 licenses at the same premise. That's the only reason for that 4th.
Can I get clarification on the dates on the application where it says December 6th through the end of December next year? Is that accurate or?
On the application,
Yeah. Right up at the top.
it should be through, the application should be through June 30th,
Okay,
because
that's
it's the licensing period.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got it.
thanks.
You just want to clarify 2 dates, 350 and 440. So I don't know how that,
Those
Because
are being,
the address is, it's the 2 locations being merged together, so I don't know how you want to word that. 'Cause
well,
we're-
I think those would need to be, I'll leave that up to the board, but those should be merged.
Because we're putting
Because
the
we're gonna
access
need
to
to
the-
amend the alcohol license then to include those.
Right, and that's what I think we did based on the square footage of what was bricks.
If that's not on the application, that would be the only question. Let me double check the application here. So this just has 350 North Century Avenue, so
Yeah.
that's all they would be considering. It does say under the premise description on the application, it says building has 2 areas, the sports bar area, which is approximately 3,000 square feet, and the additional dining area of 12,000 square feet, which,
1,200.
1,200, sorry.
Page 5 has them both listed. 5 out of 35 of the application.
That's the appointment of agent though, rather than the actual application.
So we could amend the motion to include 340 if you'd like, or we can approve 350 and then the applicant would then have to come back to you guys to amend it. I don't know if you guys,
I would amend the motion myself.
So then, say, and the additional dining area at 340.
Correct.
is that
The-
correct?
The Par Bar side is
Yes.
still staying as Par Bar, the brick side is going to be called Early Birdie. So,
Yep.
but they're going to be merged together to be all under one license.
And I should introduce, this is Scott Polvemacher, this is the new owner of Par Bar Early Birdie, so just for the record, so we have
Well, okay. And the police chief signed off on the one that has both the addresses. I make the motion that you said, you don't need to say it all.
that. Nope, you can go ahead and say as stated.
As stated by Carl.
I'd note though with the clarification on both premises
Yeah, that both,
being
Please.
identified.
340 and 350.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect. Welcome.
Thank you.
Last item on our agenda is discussion action on bids for terrace tree trimming. I guess-
All right. With the COVID and the MO Ash board, we kind of fell behind on our tree trimming.
And so what we're looking to do is contract a portion of our tree trimming out this year to help us get caught up. If you look at the third page, it's got a number, it's got a map of the village there with the color symbol. Page 41, I believe. You'll see on that map the different colors. Our current GIS system has a feature in that allows us to keep track of our trimming of trees and the care of our trees. And if you look at this map, you'll notice that the area down in the middle of the map has got quite a few red dots. That's the area we're looking to have a contractor help us out, get caught up with trimming. And actually I should introduce Ryan and Jeff behind me, who basically took care of soliciting quotes from various contractors to give us a number to trim those trees. They came up with it's roughly, I believe it's 290 trees we're looking at. And you'll see the various prices that we got from Boley and Steve Bassett, as well as Whitten. As you can see, Whitten was our lowest bid. We did talk about this at Public Works, and they also felt that it was good that we go with low bid. We're hoping to use ARPA funds to cover the cost of this. And at this point, I guess if we have any questions.
Do we have any experience with Whitney?
We haven't used them in the village per se, but we have talked to other municipalities that have used them. Yeah, very popular.
Even Outshore Hillside's used them for many years.
Okay.
They were really good.
I, for one, think it's necessary because we've got a lot of trees that've got to be lifted on these terrace trees. So I would go ahead and make the motion to approve the lowest quote of $28,500 for Whitney Tree Service for the tree trimming project using ARPA funds.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One more motion.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good job.